This isn't going to be a long things they don't teach you at school, but man, has this been bugging me since I started tutoring in 2019. Stop memorizing facts and just understand concepts. Please, I beg of you, your future self will thank you for it. School made you learn like a test tube baby. Miss, how do I do the question? I know it's like in the book, but like this one word has changed. How do I do it? Oh, I get it. So if it looks like this, I do this. And if it looks like this, I do this. Formula. But how do I know? This is a compound interest question? How was I supposed to know that? Yeah. How do I know that this was simultaneous equations? It's not like it was in the book. What's the formula for... Look, I get it, guys. Honestly, I sympathize with you. As I like to say, if school didn't teach you to pass an exam, we wouldn't learn to pass an exam. Like, I'll give you an example for maths, right? Because so many times people will tell me, oh, I have to memorize this formula this, I have to memorize this. Oh, these are all the formulas I have to learn for GCSEs? No, it's actually, there's a few more that I don't have the space to put more on here. So, no, it's actually worse than this. But you have to memorize all of this? No, you don't need to memorize anything, right? Don't memorize. Okay? Because what will happen when you memorize? You're going to forget it as soon as you don't need it. You understand the concept, you'll always remember it. But here's the thing. You have, how many got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. I'm just going to say 40 for the sine and cos table and counting formulas. But what if I told you that you can literally cut this in 4 pieces, and in fact the only ones you have to actually memorize are these ones? Why? Because you understand the concept behind them. There's a few fundamental ones we need to understand. Pythagoras' theorem, area of a rectangle, area of a triangle, area of a parallelogram-ish, y equal, what it means if it's directly or inversely proportional, percentage and how that works, pi r squared and the circumference, the area of a prism, area of a pyramid. Everything else you don't need to memorize. You can learn it. SOHCAHTOA, I mean, if you want to learn SOHCAHTOA, you can. Like this, okay, if it's in green, it means memorize. If it's in amber, it means you can learn it. Like you can learn, like, stroke derive it. But it's a bit confusing. But again, it comes down to these concepts. And if it's in red, you don't even need to memorize. Okay? Right, let's take a look at these. The ones that are in red. Area of a triangle, half AB sine C. Well, what is area of a triangle? An area of a triangle is half base times height, isn't it? So this A sine C, that's just the height, isn't it? Speed equals distance time. Nope, you don't need to memorize that. What do you count? What do you use to count speed? Miles per hour. Right? Miles, distance, per hour, time. They literally, like, it's written in the it's literally written in the graph, in the unit, what you have to do to work out the speed. That's just an extension of that. That's just an extension of that. Frequency density, it's the area of the bar. It's the area of the bar. You don't need to memorize that formula. Probability of A union B is probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B. Nope. Don't need to memorize that either. Have a look. Probability of A, probability of B. You have two sets, so minus one of those. No memorizing there. That's just common sense. Probability of A given B. Again, not hard. No memorizing required. Right? This is the probability of B. Right? B is already, you know that probability B has already happened, so we're only looking here. So all we're looking for is this. Again. This is A happening, and this is B. There's no memorizing. These two, it's better to memorize it just because it saves so much time. But again, if you understand how this works, each time you do it, it increases by that percentage. So if like it's a 5% interest and I have £100, okay, after 1 year, I'll have £105. And then I'll have, times it by 5 plus 5%. So 105 times 1.05. That's 110.25. Then it's 100 and... sorry, hold on. Then it's 115.76. Then it's 122.55, and so on and so forth. This is just making it faster. No need to memorize. Absolutely no need to memorize. Area of a trapezium? Nope. What is a trapezium? It's two triangles. You know what a rectangle is, and you know what a triangle is. If you want to learn this to speed yourself up, great. Do you need to learn it? Well, do you need to memorize it? Hell no, you don't need to memorize it. Sum of, what about all this? Sum of interior angles? You don't need to memorize all that. Hell, what's an exterior? What do exterior angles all add up to? They all add up to 360. They all add up to 360. You want to memorize this one? Okay, triangle adds up to 180. That's all you need to... That's a concept. That's not memorizing a formula. That's a concept. And with these two concepts, you can memorize this one. Area of a cuboid, area of a cylinder. What is it? What are both of these? They're both prisms. That's your cross-section. That's your cross-section. That's your width. It's literally just this. Stop overcomplicating it. Area of a sphere. Okay, the reason why it's I've circled it, honestly, is because most of the time this one's given. The proof of it is a bit weird, but yeah, that one is a bit mad. But again, that one's given, so it's not the end of the world. Area of a cone? Nope. What is a cone? It's a pyramid. Isn't it? It's a circular-based pyramid. And we know what a pyramid is, don't we? This one again, if you guys want me to, I'll make a video explaining all of these without memorizing it, just using knowledge and the formulas that I've circled in green if you want to. But the point is you don't need to memorize. You need to know it, sure, but you don't need to memorize it. And let's use some hobbies as an example, because I know that maths can be a bit tricky for some. Let's use some hobbies. Let's use YouTube videos as an example. Let's use fighting as an example, and let's use video games like FPS games, for example. Let's start with YouTube videos, because I swear to God I hate the new YouTuber community, because they are such ramblers and excuse makers that honestly I don't want to be associated with these guys. They talk about blah 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 retention, how do I make my thumbnails better, pan and zoom to engage the audience, look at the camera, good posture, edit videos like this, blah blah blah, networking, collabs. Do you know what this all says to me? This is all good, fine, but again, this is memorizing. What are you fundamentally doing with your YouTube videos? You're consistent in uploading, because we're uploading videos. I'm making a thumbnail that's in your face and mysterious. I need a reason for you to click. Yeah? I need a reason for you to click. And all this stuff about retention, what is it fundamentally? It's smooth movement. It's movement. People want to see movement. Why do you think the Fast and Furious franchise has more cuts in Fast and Furious 10 than in 7? Because they want movement. Smooth movement to hook the audience in. And I'm talking to you, the viewer, like I'm talking with the person. I'm talking through my diaphragm. I'm talking as authentically and as what's the word that I'm looking for? As firmly as possible. I think that's the right word. I think that was the right word to use. But I'm talking to you like you're a person, like you're the student and I'm a teacher. Because that's the video you signed up for. Alright, let's look at fighting. I'm gonna be real, guys. It's 1:30 when I'm uploading this. I can't be bothered to list everything that you need to memorize in fighting, because there's so many styles, so many techniques, and some of the traditional martial arts, they have syllabuses, so I can't be bothered. I'm so sorry. But fundamentally, what is fighting? You have a center line that is the point of control and balance. What is it? Like, oh, you knock someone down? Yep, that's balance. You knock their head off the center line. You knock on the pressure points, on the soft points. That's absolutely balance and control. You want to break my arm? Absolutely. Still balance. You have to go through the center line, which is my elbow, which is what you're trying to break. You want to do a gimmicky wrist lock? Yep, that's still balance. Because that's the line at which you need to isolate. It's all it comes down to. Distance management. Are you in? Are you out? Is it a close range fight? Long range fight? If so, how are you going to adapt? You're protecting yourselves, aren't you? But again, these are just all fundamentals. I'm not saying don't memorize certain facts. Far from it. I'm just saying understand where these facts come from so that you can use them in context. And if you're like, if one word in the exam changes, you can still answer the question because you've seen that type of question and you know what it's asking you to do. It's the same thing with fighting, for example. FPS games. Okay, sorry, I forgot to add some movement to that. Oops, went against my own teaching there. But okay, you're complaining about Camper and Call of Duty's been killing you all game. He planted B, now we have to retake. Why is the team not helping me? But again, why are you raging? Because the opponent has good crosshair placement. They're aiming for Sorry, let me draw a better cross there. They are aiming for your head, aren't they? Like, they're aiming for your head. And not only are they aiming for your head, like, let's say you're behind this brick wall, right? They are already here. And they're already looking towards that direction, behind the wall where they think you're gonna be. Okay? And what's another thing? Like, you're complaining about campers. Why? Because they're staying in cover. So you have to take the disadvantage. They're harder to hit. They've got this obstacle, like, oh, look, I'm here. Like, you can't hit me. You can hit my head maybe, but I can hit you anywhere because you're more out in the open. And guess what? Okay, let's say this camper is like in a corner. He's gonna shoot first. If he shoots you first, it means that he's hit you for longer. And work as a team. I know it's easier said than done because FPS games, everyone's a lone wolf. Everyone wants to join 2012 phase. But work as a team. Communicate. So, what am I saying here? What's the takeaway from this video? It's all well and good memorizing the facts. And it's important. It is important. Don't get me wrong. But understanding the concepts will help you with those facts. To build a skyscraper, you need a solid foundation. It's as simple as that. Do you honestly think there are some advanced techniques used to build the Shard or the Burj Khalifa? No! It's literally how you build, I don't know, like office space, but to a higher level. It's calculations. It's the same calculation, still the same finite element analysis and how it works. Finding the whether or not trusses are in tension or compression, and by how much, so that you can support the structure. Master the basics, apply the basics. Even advanced techniques on any field are not really advanced. All it is advanced basics. Yeah? And if you actually learn those advanced strategies, you actually realize this, or you will have an epiphany that you'll realize, oh, it's all basic. Why? Because it's so fundamental. It's just the concept. Right, thank you guys for watching. I really hope this video helps you out, because this is an epiphany you need to have by the time you finish school. And if you do, you'll be ahead of everyone else. If you want a more conceptual way of learning, you can get tutored by me, which will help you pass your exams. Drop me an email and we can organize a meeting and a quote. Keep on learning, as you have no idea what you're capable of doing.